Hey guys, welcome back to the Comic Book Lowdown. I'm Wellington, and doing another Pool Week video. Got 4 books today that I'm reviewing 2 online, and for this video, I'm not sure if I'm gonna put them in any order because every book was just so good that it's hard to put in some kind of order. I mean, the book that I like the least, and I'll review first, was amazing. So it's just hard to put this in an order for this week because just so many books came, or just the books that I got are just so good. Anyway, starting off though, we got Detective Comics issue 18. This is written by John Layman, art by Jason Fabok, and it's labeled as the Requiem. You know how Bruce reacts to the death of Damien, but there's very little of that in here. Actually, there's a scene that shows some emotion towards what happened, but and actually I can kind of infer the way that Batman's acting very ruthlessly that he's affected, but they don't go out and show you that, so that's just an inference. So if you guys saw it that way, then you know you saw it that way. If you didn't see it that way, then you didn't really, because it's not there, so you can only infer things about that. But there is a little thing about Damien in here. This is a Penguin plot that's going to be coming in these next few issues. Some stuff with the Penguin's pretty cool. Penguin just found out about Ogilvy, and so there's a lot of stuff going on there. And Ogilvy's got a pretty good plan. He's been setting things up for a while now, and Layman has been setting things up, you know, for a while in Detective, and he's been setting things up for what's to come. And I'm very interested in what's going to be happening next. This Penguin plot, this kind of duel of the Penguins, is going to be a kind of cool thing with Batman thrown in the middle, and there's this thing at the end with Ogilvy, and I'm not very much sure of what it is, but I know a lot of other people will be. I have an idea, but it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with that. Another character in this is Zaz. Zaz is out of Arkham, so there's a danger out there on the streets with him out there, and so it's going to be interesting seeing how Batman reacts to all of this, and also dealing with the death of Damien, even though I think they'll cover more of that in maybe Batman and Robin and definitely Batman Inc. So it's not going to be too prominent in I think the Detective Comics or just regular Batman, I don't think. But anyways, great issue. Definitely pick it up if you haven't. And yeah. Moving on to next thing I got, and that is also online. That is Age of Ultron Book 1. This is written by Brian Michael Bendis, and art, or the penciler, is Brian Hitch. I'm not familiar with Brian Hitch, but the art in here is awesome. It's very detailed. I'm pretty sure that this story takes place in the future, and this is a terrible future. Things are bad, and you know, heroes and villains. The concept of a hero and a villain isn't really there anymore, except for Hawkeye and Spider-Man, really. And Hawkeye, I'm really liking how a lot of these, you know, miniseries or just, you know, stories are taking place from the view of Hawkeye. Hawkeye is now I didn't really know him before the Avengers. He wasn't a very prominent character. At least I don't think he was. And now he's just the focus of all these, you know, great character stories where, like, dealing with the human side of each character, and so he's definitely the perfect person to put in the spotlight like that. And again, we start off with Hawkeye, just like, Marvel Universe versus the Avengers. You start off with Hawkeye, and he is a bad A in this. I'm not gonna curse on here, but he's a bad A, and this future is absolutely terrible. We don't know what's happened. We're not getting any setup so far, so I'm imagining that we're gonna get that along the way. But it just starts out with Hawkeye just shooting these guys down with arrows. He's killing them. He's not impaling them, or he's not impairing them. I meant not impaling. He's not impairing them, or like shooting them in the knee or something. He's shooting them through the neck and through the eyes and through the mouth and stuff. So he's on a mission, and who he saves in this mission is very you see it and you're like, wow, this world is no joke anymore. And when they get saved and when they go back to where all the heroes are at, then you really know that it's no joke. And when we get to the end, after a lot of great dialogue by Hawkeye delivers a bunch of great lines, and Bendis wrote this magnificently. We see this last image at the end of the book, and that's when we really, really know this world is no joke. And so I cannot wait to see what happens next. This book is very much worthy of the advertisements that it gets, because I actually heard an advertisement of Age of Ultron on the radio. I was just driving one day, and all of a sudden, commercial comes on. Marvel presents Age of Ultron, and I'm like, I didn't know comics did radio advertisements, but it was very cool to hear, and it's very much worth it. So, if you weren't gonna pick this up, I definitely recommend that you pick this up, because you'll be very much, you'll enjoy it very much, and you'll be very surprised at what you find in this book. Next up, another great book, another Bendis book, Daredevil End of Days, issue number 6. We're coming to a close on this, and yet we're still just getting, thrown around in this series, just like Ben Urich being thrown around, out of buildings and all this kind of stuff. We do know now that there's another Daredevil. We know that it's not Matt Murdock. At least we're being led to believe it's not Matt Murdock, because he's dead. Everybody saw him die. But there is another Daredevil, and he's ruthless. He killed Bullet. Bullet's the one who threw Ben Urich out of a window last issue, and Daredevil saved him. And then we get a homage page to Amazing Fantasy issue 15. The thing everybody knows: Spider-Man swinging on his webs, holding a guy by his shirt, saving him. We get that same thing here with Daredevil and Ben Urich. So that was kind of cool to see. I kind of had a laugh with that. But the writing here is absolutely fantastic, and we get so many characters and just so many things happen. Ben Urich is, I don't think it's spoiling it. Well, it actually will be spoiling it, so I won't say. But we get a lot. There's a list of characters that Ben Urich's been holding on to, and he's been checking them off if he's met them, and he's been crossing them out if they've been taken care of. And it's just this long list, and a lot of names are checked off though. So there's only a few names left, and the people that he's met in this issue, there's some big things that happen with that. And there's a lot of good dialogue between Ben and Timmy in the hospital after Ben was saved by Daredevil. Timmy being Ben's son. Ben kind of explains to Timmy what a hero is and how heroes don't kill. But Timmy's like, well, in this world, maybe you don't know the world as it really is. And maybe heroes sometimes need to kill. And he says that maybe that's what Daredevil should have done to Bullseye a long time ago, because then Daredevil would be alive and Bullseye would be dead, and so the good guy would be alive and the bad guy would be dead. And Ben kind of has like no words for it, because maybe he's coming to a realization, I don't know. But at the end of this issue, it's just a huge thing happens between characters and Ben and all. Oh my gosh, it's just, if you weren't picking this up, I don't know what you were doing, because you've been missing out on some great stories. It's almost over, so if you plan on getting this in trade, that'd be a great idea, because then you get to read it all together, and that's what I plan on doing myself after issue 8 comes out. And yeah, so definitely pick these up in issues if you want. If you've been thinking about it, it's kind of late now, so maybe pick it up in trade. But if you want to pick it up in issues, I'm pretty sure they're available. And finally, last book, and this is so good again. I'm so happy about this book being, back to where it was and maybe even better. This is Venom issue 32. And first of all, just look at the cover on that. That is absolutely amazing. And this is, of course, Cullen Bunn writing and Chauvet on art again. And I've complained about the art by Chauvet before on how he draws Venom. But in this issue, either I'm getting used to it or it was just done a little better. But I didn't really complain about the art in this. Maybe the eyes a little bit, but not too much of an issue there. This issue is great. It gives you a lot of background knowledge, a lot of flashbacks in this between characters. Toxin is still being set up, like the whole Toxin plot is being set up. We're gonna get to it next issue, but it's been 2-3 issues now of setup, and I'm kind of glad it's been that way, because we want Flash to get settled into Philadelphia first before he finds his first true opponent, first true threat. And it's coming next issue. And there's a lot of weird things that happen in here, and that's kind of a concept in this issue, is weird. And there's a lot of character stuff. There's a lot of everything. And there's a lot of Flash Thompson in this, which I really liked, because Cullen Bunn is getting a great sense of writing Flash Thompson, and he's also getting a good sense of writing Venom now. Now that the character is his, now that he doesn't have to worry about characters that have been brought up in the past, like Betty and all this kind of stuff. He's brought his own characters into play, and now he can write his own stories without reminder of that. There's a really cool part in this where Flash is trying to call friends up on the phone, and Katie Kiernan he calls, no pickup. And the really cool part that I heard was he says that he keeps calling Peter, and for whatever reason, out of nowhere, Peter stops returning his phone calls, and of course we know why that is. But it's kind of cool that Flash is still trying to keep in touch with Peter, and they're doing something with the whole Superior Spider-Man thing, and not making a huge deal out of it in this book. So definitely, I really love the writing in this. The way that Chauvet draws backgrounds is great. The way he draws, all the characters is great. I especially love his Flash. I especially love his Eddie Brock. It's just all great. But the only problem I had was the eyes on Venom this issue, but that was only a couple of panels. So I definitely really much like this issue. If you dropped off of Venom, you can get back on with I think issue 30, issue 29, something like that. No, maybe even issue 28 may be a good jumping point, but definitely issue 30 you can get on and you'll be all set. Yeah, that's all the books that I have this week. 4 books for you guys, and all great. If you guys weren't picking up any of them or thinking about some of them, I would definitely recommend to pick them up, because you'll be in for a great read. But anyways, I'm Wellington signing off with the Comic Book Lowdown, and I'll see you guys next time.